Okay.
I just want to thank you all for being here, especially the youth. I heard there was 18 youth, and that's like a really, truly amazing turnout. There are programs out there like Ojibway and Anishinaabemowin that can work, but we only had 9 students this past year at Anishinaabemowin, and there's only one program like this in Ontario, and then there's one in Minnesota, and they had how many students? 9? 10? 10. They only had 10. And those are the only programs I've seen that have made myself personally, like in all the places I've tried to go and pick up the language, those are the only 2 places I've seen that have had true success, like time and time again. And there's only 2, and there's only 9 to 10 students every year. So, like, where's everyone else? So that's why 18, that's an amazing turnout. And I want to really thank you all and thank Vicki and the community for putting this on, because that's what we really need. We need more people. So that's my big message, is that I think part of it is we need to be what's the word? Advocating, selling the language. We need more awareness as to why the language is important. And I can't explain why it is. I just know that it is. Like, it's like, why is it not? The people ask me all the time, and I'm like that's a silly question. I know for myself, though, to me, one of the things that makes us Anishinaabe and not Jaganash or not Cree or not anything else is our language. It was given to us by the Creator, and it's a language that our ancestors speak. And that's the language we use to communicate with the spirit world, and that's our identity. So I'm Miigwech, I'm not Jessica. Jessica's my Jaganash knows when. My spirit is all in the language. And for a long time, like I knew I was Anishinaabe, and I went to high school in Lively, outside my mom's community in Whitefish Lake, outside of Sudbury. And there was a lot of racism there, and so I knew that I was different, but I didn't know what that meant. I only knew the bad stuff. Unfortunately, I internalized a lot of racism. I saw a lot of drinking, and that's all that I knew. I didn't know like what was the good part about being Anishinaabe. Like I didn't, and so it wasn't until. And this isn't why I picked up the language, but once I started to be able to speak the language and those teachings came with it, I really understand all of the good things about being Anishinaabe. So that's healing, right? To me, that's what healing is. And now I know what it means to be Anishinaabe, because I understand our language and I can speak it, and that worldview and the teachings come with it. So I'm really proud about who I am, and I know that it's not all drinking and bad stuff. There's a lot to be proud of. So, yeah, I think it really is healing. So, can you help me count out?
Yeah, everything on the right of the string.
Okay, so I'm just gonna pull out some. I just want to share something with you guys. Is that 98? I'm going to make sure I give you correct numbers. Where is it? Okay, so there's 360 stones here. Took a long time to get them all, but they're here. I have to count them all. Is this one? No, it's dirt. So each one of these stones represents 100 people. So in 1996, there's 360 stones here. So that if this represents 100 speakers, then this is how many speakers we had in 1996 in the Canadian side only for Anishinaabemowin. So we had 36,000 speakers in 1996, about that much. and 65% of them were 60 years of age and older. So, can you get me maybe a paper or something? If you fast forward to, what year is this? 2016. This is how many we have left. Yeah, should have put this on the paper, on the table. So we started 20 years ago, all of this. All of these speakers have passed away in the last 20 years, and this is what we're left with. So we have 10,000 speakers left in 2016. So that was 2 years ago. So maybe we have less now. And back then when it was all of these guys, it was 60, they're about 60 years of age or older. Now we're left with this, and they're about 80 years of age or older, like the average. So we've lost about 3/4 of our speakers in 20 years, and this is all we have left. So when I only see like 9 students come to our immersion, and that's all, like, I don't know, like all of that knowledge, all of that teaching, all of that language that we've lost, it makes me want to cry. It's hard not to. And that's why we need more people to come to our language classes and our immersion and to really sit with those speakers. It's free to sit with an elder, to go over, make them tea, bring your friends. Maybe they'll be okay with you recording them. That really helps for later on. But it's free to do that. You don't need funding. You don't need a program. You don't need to come to Anishinaabemowin, but you should. You don't need reconciliation or the government's approval. It's totally free to do that, and our great-great-grandchildren will be forever thankful for you. So that's who we're doing this for. And frankly, the time to act was yesterday with our language, because it's more speakers are passing on all the time, and they all have a certain skill set and certain language and knowledge that comes with it, and we're losing that. And a friend of mine, Drita Grey Eyes, she told me that it's an elder's duty to pass on their knowledge and their language, their bundles. And when they don't get to do that, it's a burden on them because they're hanging on to it and they need to pass it on. So with that little pile of speakers, you need to go to them and relieve that burden and do your part. And you need to let your friends, your family, community members know that we really need them, because this is like, generously, we have 20 years left before the language and all our first language speakers are totally gone. And then what are we going to have? Who's going to speak the language to our little ones in our ceremonies? How are we going to communicate with our ancestors in our pipe ceremonies? The Creator might understand you in English and speaks all languages, but our ancestors probably not. They probably only speak Anishinaabemowin, and that's the language of our spirit for us to communicate. So that's my big message. Share that with your friends. We really need more people, so I really want to thank you all for being here and listening to me.
I'm learning Anishinaabemowin. To me, I only know like a tiny bit, and I went to Georgian College. Took 2 years there to take that program there to try to learn, and I've been working at culture department here, actually for probably about 12 years, but I took a leave to learn the language, and I've come back and part of my job now is to try to create language opportunities for people, or try to actually revitalize the language in Rama. For me, my uncles and aunts, and there was 8 of them, and the eldest one, Ellis, he was the one who learned the language. Out of all my uncles and aunts, no one else learned it. And my mom, later in life, she tried to pick it up. She went actually to Thunder Bay to try to learn, but she was raising us and managing the daycare. She had a very busy life, and she wasn't able to continue that as her goal. And so I'm one generation removed from the language. My grandparents spoke it fluently, but they didn't pass it on. And actually, the society that we live in, it was so oppressive back then that my last name is Snake, and it's actually comes from Ginabagonini is the original name, and my grandfather spelled his name Snake, but he changed the spelling on all of his children's birth certificates to Snake. And he did that because of the times that we lived in. And I don't know why I just told you that. But so I guess it's just to highlight that generation, the generation that was removed in my family line from the language, and the oppression, I guess, that was imposed upon us to force us to change our ways or to forget our ways. And I see language learning as a lifelong journey. Like for me, I have 3 children, and going to an immersion program, it's not ideal for me. I would love to, but I have responsibilities, and I can't do that. Not at this time, anyway, until my kids are grown. But for the youth who have those freedoms to choose whatever it is that you want in your life, that's an ideal situation. It's an ideal choice to make. I feel very much like a toddler in my language learning, and I understand more than I can speak, but I know in my heart that even like what I want is to become fluent or to become a speaker. Even if I don't reach that goal, for me to know that there are people picking it up, that does my heart good. So that's all I want to share about myself. You want to say anything? I'm not even using it.
It's so heavy. Is this even on? Is this on? Can you hear me here? There? Here? Aning, Kinawea, Wapshikizik, Makwakwa, Kize, Shauna, Wayne, Noseman, Veronica Elliott, and Dijnakas, Rama Donjaba, Makwadodam, Bungi, Anishinaabemowin. I'm like a Benoji as well. I'm like a little baby, and extremely the opposite of confident in regards to speaking Anishinaabemowin. And I took the program. I took the program at Georgian, and it was a scary experience. And I went in with no language, no prior language at all. My father, who comes from Christian Island, he's a speaker. He's a first speaker. He learned English later on. He never shared the language with us and with my siblings, and nor his partner at the time, my mother. But and there was moments, where I was like, oh, why not? And I felt so cheated and I felt so ripped off because throughout my youth, your ages, I was like, I want to learn more, because I would hear him speak with my grandparents and they'd be laughing, they'd be joking, and it's like, what's the joke? And you want to know, like, what's the joke? What are they so happy about? And what are they, what's funny? Are they talking about me? You want to have that, because it was almost like a secret club. It's like they're talking and they're laughing and they're enjoying, and I wanted that for myself as well. And I'm so far from being able to, have a conversation and participate in a conversation. Listening to my teacher, Jessica, and listening to her, I caught maybe like 45% of what she was saying, but I knew what she was talking about. But could I translate that for you? Maybe. But we're all in different kinds of stages in regards to our learning, and I know that I'm just repeating myself, is that it's just making that step towards wanting to have that. And for the longest time, I only had a pocket full of words that I knew, and sometimes they were dirty words too, right? But what happened when I was with the program at Georgian was like linking those sentences together. It's almost like you're in grade school, but it's those moments, and I just say that the freedom that some of our learners have is that they're not tied. I would love to go to the emergency. It'd be terrifying. In fact, I could imagine myself crying myself to sleep every night too. But you do it. You take that leap and you do it, and you don't look back. And it's you young people, you have such opportunity, and I look forward to seeing what a lot of you can do, because I see that I see brightness, and I see that you can achieve this if you put the desire into it. You guys have the power, right? Yourselves, you can make that decision and decide to learn. Anyways, enough of my lecturing and bogging you down with like, you can do it. You just do it. All right. Wow. Miigwech.
Anin Gabriana Dishnakas Rama Donjba Miigwech Kwazis Nina Nishna Vendel Alexander.
Anin Machinakas and Miigwech.
Ani, biguna bikwe minwa. Dekendo dem miigwech.
Ani Bujo, Robin Jonias, Dijnakas. Wikom Kong Minwa, Kiashki Zaging, Donjaba. Trenton Donjanaki, Jamaganish Minwa, Bashkin Kedao. It's really nice to be here with you guys, youth especially. It's nice to see the turnout of people who want to be here and want to pick up the language. And I guess when I was younger, I was exposed to a lot of the language. My grandparents on my mother's side, my dad's side, who they're from Gold Bay, which is north of Thunder Bay, they all spoke Anishinaabemowin, and I guess I can say that when I was younger, I took it for granted, and I don't know, I shouldn't have done that. And I hope that you guys don't do that either. And it's up to you guys as youth to pick it up, as well as the adults now who are picking up as second language. And we need to pass that on. And because if we lose our language, we lose a sense of who we are as Anishinaabe people. Now, miigwech.
Ani Bojo, Kikekos Nadijnikaz, Anakos Dodem, Minjikanin Donjaba. I guess you know me, Lee. I work at the culture department. I gotta agree with everybody what they're saying about how the language is like at a critical area right now, and it's good to see like all the youth coming up and doing all the cool activities and stuff we were doing, like the scon. That was cool. Yeah, I remember we were just firing off a bunch of scon there the other day. That was cool, but it's great to see that you're taking initiative. And I mean, I went to the same program that everybody's talking about as well. Sad thing about it though is that you have to, I think with it you have to be more consistent. I graduated at Georgian College when the Anishinaabemowin language was like in its first like birth, like it was like the first of its kind. I was the first grad of that program, and then I jumped right into like doing my bachelor's up at Laurentian, and that's like intense reading and essays and writing and a lot of English language, and you have to write it good, right? You have to like make a big paper and all that. But I don't want to bore everybody here. I'll be real quick, but no, it's great. It's great to have. It is like I gotta agree with what Birabin was saying here about it's like my mother's from Wikwemikong as well, and I had and my dad from here, and I like with like what he was saying was like I took advantage of it too. Like I didn't take the time when I was a kid to learn it or like just sit and absorb it. But I'm grateful to be able to try that again and try to keep it going, and it's good to see more people doing it, right? And having these kind of functions here, like everybody from different communities here I see, and it's just great. It's a great gathering, and yeah, I guess I'll stop here now. Miigwech. It's on the camera.
Oh, Lord. Anin Bojo, Biradijnikaz, Curve Lake First Nation. I came from there. Makwa, Dudum. Very, very happy to see all the youth and all the elders and the teachers here. I work at the OTC office right down the street, and I've been there almost 3 years. My job is an employment counselor. So I look at some of the postings that come my way, and I notice that there's a lot of jobs that sometimes require Anishinaabe language or any other languages. So I'm really happy that our youth and everybody is starting to realize it is an important part of your life, and it's a whole well-being of everything. I grew up in Curve Lake. My mom and dad, everyone spoke. A lot of my family members spoke. I could understand it more than I could speak it, like you. And I often wondered what the heck they were talking about too. So I can understand it, especially when I hear Neil Maneg sing all his nice music. That's who's my inspiration. So miigwech, enjoy their day.
Anin Kinawaya, Greer Atkinson, Dijnakas, Georgina Island, Dunjaba. I'm really glad to be here today too. I wanted to be here for all day, but I squeezed in a little bit, and mostly because I knew there were so many youth that were coming to this, and it really fills up my heart to see young people attracted and wanting to learn the language because of all the reasons that have been said. like everybody around the table, my grandparents were fluent speakers. My mother was not. She always kind of blames the fact that her her dad married a Mohawk, so they didn't speak in the home. They only had English in the home. But it was also for the reasons of the climate that existed at the time that Vicky mentioned. I also like to come out because it's good to connect with all the people that are doing hard work in the language in our communities, and to come out and support you. So I'm really glad to see all of you here.
Ani Bojo, Angie King, Dijnakas, Chimnasing Donjaba. So I've been up in Thunder Bay for the last month. I've been taking a course, working towards my OTC to become a teacher. I've been teaching at Scarborough, Eastview Public School for the last 2 years. We have a program there, Ojibway and culture. So half our students in the morning would have language with me and the other half would go to the culture teachers, so they were getting both. And that was to instruct all the school, not just Aboriginal students. So it was really good to see because moving forward in truth and reconciliation, I believe that the kids are the ones that are responsible, the ones that are coming up, that are going to acknowledge everything that we went through as First Nation people. So it was nice to be able to be a part of that. I've left that job. 2 hours of driving every day one way was a little too much after 2 years. So going back to going to school, we're not alone here with the Anishinaabeg people trying to restore our language. I met a lot of awesome people up there, the Oji Crees and the Crees. They're having the same problems also. They need to have more language teachers as well. So quite a few of us are working towards that. Like to thank all the kids for coming out today. I heard some really good things from Vicky. Thanks to Vicky for inviting me today. Keep going. And miigwech for having me today.
Anin, Gavin and Dijnaka, Rama Donjaba. I just wanted to say that I'm glad I came out here because I could say I learned a lot more than when I started. Well, just what I said there, I learned that. At first I couldn't introduce myself. Now I can, and I'm happy.
Okay, so I'm gonna share what I learned, like the only phrase I know how to say. So, Anin, Evan and Dijnakas, Rama Donjaba. And I'm really grateful for the experience to learn even just that, just because it's my language that I should know how to speak, because I am that. And it felt kind of good to even teach my mom something for once, because I taught her how to introduce herself. And I don't know, it just felt really good to just being able to spread the language. I don't know, but I'm just really grateful for this experience. Yeah, miigwech.
Anin, Yishikon Kwadishkas from Dongshba, Miigwech, Mongdodam, Nishnabenda. I'm just happy to be here and that this language camp was a success.
Anin, Dishnakas from Dongshba, Miigwech.
Anin, Jababe and Dijnakas, Rama Donjaba, Chimnasing Dinda, Magazine Dodem, Miigwech.
Anin, Sierra Dijnakas, Rama Donjba, Miigwech.
Anin, Eshbenibwed, Nabeing Dijnakas, Rama Donjba, Miigwech.
Anin, Nick Dijnakas, Rama Donjaba, Makwadodem, Miigwech.
Hello. Are you there?
Oh, bonjour, madame de Marvenedam. Genin Medway, she genin dish the cast, obsession genin do them. Genin the cape medal. Chenamem the sing don't jaba, was up sing in da. Bangia Anishinaabemowin. Genin Chode Nangi Shayan, Ishkin Wayan. Nanguno pene wamak bemad jik. Machkung guje benjabao. Gewin wana ka inwewat gigawatt. You must say mak as you gigawatt. Ministry gani naman mega ashna nishnabe. Naman nawe and vendagan naman kweshkwa gini endam. Kawe. Misho gewin wa gini gani naman. Yigagana Nikyagana gama kubndo goyang ginen damen pene jagwen moyang. Minuage he spange Anishinaabemowin nangono de jagwenam gegin we Anishinaabemowin. Karish me kach nunga dashtege si. Gidget ton Anishinaabemowin kame kash kajagwem si. Gwedish bangi ne we jaganashi. When I was in the city, lived there for quite some time, and when I would ride on the buses or a streetcar or subway, I'd always listen to people around me. And a lot of people come from different places, and they would speak their language. And I thought that was pretty awesome for them to speak their language. And I was wishing I'd seen one of my relatives so I could start talking with my own people, eh? And of course, I met my cousin. He started speaking the language, and we started talking, or any of my other relatives. And you know how Anishinaabe talk, eh? You like to laugh, like you guys talked about. But it's all in fun. It's not to, put anybody down. It's just the way life is. We don't put anybody down. Maybe the way they look. Eh? But I thought that was pretty awesome. But growing up, we weren't taught, but we were ashamed all the time when we were growing up by the school system, whether it be Catholic or whatever. It was embedded in us to be shy, but also to not speak our language. Then we became even more shyer to speak our language, or else we would get strapped to speak our language. But so I encourage you, all you young people, don't be shy. Don't be shy in learning the language. I was amazed at her speaking. I was really amazed. So, it can happen. One of my nephews of our lodge, when he first came around speaking to me, he didn't know the language at all. But in 10 years, he's a fluent speaker now. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if anybody know Brian McGinnis. Yeah. When he came to me, he barely knew anything. And now he's like a fluent speaker. So all you young people, I was really glad to see you there the other day, and wanting to learn, and keep at it. Don't stop. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Even in the culture, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Even my teachers still tell me that. Don't be shy. Pick up that work. Do the work. Because all these young people that are following you, they want that experience too. And they're gonna be teachers someday. And you're gonna be teachers of the language. So be determined. Aha, mimlik any egdian. Zam nibong gagigit mo.
Bojo. Wabno se kwe gani Indishnikas mikasin dodem. Den so mede wana kwenda. Bode wadmi Ojibway ndigo. Mina bangi memtegoje. Migenin gabe koknagoyan here at Anishinaabemowin. Kago bama pi mabam gakedat giu kino magziang mibjina ki ken mang hiyo so English is ni kadem gak. Wewena kong give me bachi kiyang migo 6 good waso agin sabon zisyang mibjina ki majayang oda we kino magziang hiyo so go sak na sak ekdoat gainwa. Paningib men Anishinaabem men. Nungo de Schween go Anishinaabek. Gyo meusag na ka ken moat yo sa Anishinaabemowin. O gan makwensin. Kan makwensin yo sa Anishinaabemowin kidwak. Misayo. Kasniwi ka. Gwenin zinio sa eshe kino magwen pi egashian. Ano ego genin chore nangi bayamen. Wewena genin wen nuich kime giba gib me bos yang o sa street cars ne cars. Misma gibos yang. Tangos na nibo ma bematsijik bekansijik. Migo get Kewin wago Diana wa kedwat. Bishko Migo manda Yushke wede. Kedwak jagna shimwat. Mi nochki gideyan shime. Gitchik no abming yang. Genin went Anishinaabem yang. Kangin sa tago simen. Kasi ang gimnenda kasi men giken mang ya. Migot ko kap me shigi gidayang ya. Manige man madabiyan. En anak doen man nonggo kshep. Migim puen man yo sa ya Anishinaabek ektayik. Kamachachik. Kap me dawat yo Anishinaabemowin. Misage get gyo sa nanak duin magwago ke kayak kaken mo at yon Anishinaabemowin. We kana gade do wab mak. We kana gade onin mo o sema gyo sa ge kayak. We do question Anishinaabem yan. Yabak tang we nok chimnessing na mem nissing yo sa Anishinaabem chak ke kaya. Tang we min tag zawat ko gainwa non dodwa. Mi gini enen manya. Mi go sa ya. Nishkena ko amdana ma min sisanen andenga. Apchak na yet. Ikendana. Migo nishwaswe apton samon gesyan. $70.5. Din samon ges nungo. Mi yon mildoyan gyaba Anishinaabemowin. Dewido kagon yo sa Anishinaabemowin gyaba jam kadewa anggak minsasan. Kawi kanda testinan. Kawi kanochke kongi shchke si wites man gen dengway. Kikchin kalsa singoring bapa. Minagen shim beshako shime. Miga kedwat. Yo miga shushang nashing shinagzin kedok. Kishpan tisman yo minsasan minayo dengway kedok pani. Baparas. Kego wika tisangenia dengway. Mini nido kishikonang. Wishinagzin yo eshnagzin kera. Kamen kach gego katosin mag dengway. Kanjinandem gakyo. Nishkedash konongo gide bwe tokon bapa. Nos. Non go tangwa. Nuishina go skiabe. Mina Gyosa get your pizza chick. Wewe na bzindo. Kishpan gegon sittas one. Kin giabena go dawin mo. Giabena gishe. Nwach. Neganch gigadan. Kage men catch. Banda kashich kesi. Oh, wabno sequential cast make a send of them. Gishpan Kidiambania. Kandan sitagosi. Kage omnedo tin sitwasi no eggy dungeon. Gishpan some way wape tine. Wewena sana gigaduck. Wewena bedstock. Me go chicks get toyed. Nishkego mom gives us bebam when I am. Mio. Ka pichik chinen man nongo shep man pi beshayan. Kamana goya endayang beshasi in chicken de apane. Bagoya ben watchesi. Ya pichin schnabek bed de mewin magok. Gata ben watchin nogo. Up chicken in Miss Wendan we Nishnabemian. Ha beshan go under da. Nini et kon chicken de ben watchin de nak. Kawika bitugosh no siok. When bacho go get kayak. He can mama na oya Jake King is ne cousin. And Georgian College magi kitcha gios kino magasa gate. Tam go sa mission go nok mesan wicha yawan dakwab man. Giwis kishin damoy gibigashin. Mira show. Me go it to batch matwat no nok mesan. Iyo kashlano go ta gigada. Kiu gegon in gegon gishpan. Iyo nend man. Tang basang being winda ken man the Anishinaabemowin. Ishke within danis. Maybe sayang the Anishinaabem toa. Mira shiak nang yo. Bebam without gain. Mish magabedot yo zindaga and yo sir. It go. Kita ya big gas. Sinkadem go yo. Telephone. Me show zindwit kwa chikayat. Ya ako gino. Anishinaabemowin kino mage kwe awe. Non gotish kan nan ki nan agadoen wat Anishinaabemowin. Go. Jimskike abjitun. Kashkan go. Nixkan go gain. We on kan we wat go. Me Anishinaabemowin. Kiu ne tuna wa. Yo Anishinaabemowin. Ka we ka no gain wa get sim one. Me go get kaya kashawat ora. Yo say 60 scoop Asian kademga. Kino mage gaman. Mindish magaben jabawat go. Ekino mage jek. Mishko zinko chiki shawat. Gibayawat go sa. Ekino mage jek. Mi ganin muat. Ya Chime Shagana Mishnabega Mission Khan Gaza Savage Kishin Khan Gaza Migan in Muat Gabuch Kegoda Kensi Nawago Mimanaya what Kikirwak Mishkanche Pashego Yang Yosa The week chitoyang yo we ganon diang. Nishkeresh nongo git simuan mina nok meswan. Kigwan again mo kijweb zawat gain wire. Kadish kikino ma siwan no tabno jimwan mina no shewan. Washigi gedanit. Nishkeresh nongo eshweb zing. Kakwet shia sioko bemodore yo. Anishinaabemowin. Gitchine indem gibish ayan wab magwago. Shkini kwek mina shkinwek. Mabam gekwe. Gigidawat wewena. Yo, the saman get on. Me wet just don't go. Me go yum nam neki yihi tayan. Oh, okay. I don't translate my talk. Sometimes I will and sometimes I don't. My niece can tell you that. And it's hard for me. I love speaking the language, but it's hard for me to translate anything because my language is coming from my heart and it just wants to flow out. And so I usually get somebody else to translate for me. But the gist of it is I love my language. I grew up with it. As I told you, I'm 70 and a half years old. And I'm so good looking because I know my language. My grandson. I like joking around too. Miigwech.
Manabojo Kenawaya, Wakinikwa Dishnakas Mekaza Dodam, Wasaksing Donjaba, Kitchener and Diane. I'm thankful that we have speakers and people learning the language because without our language, we start to lose our identity. And so learning Anishinaabemowin is important to me, although I just went through 5 years of school in an academic institution and used my language in my writing and had to ask for help in translating some of the words that I heard in teachings because sometimes those words can't be translated. They're not meant to be translated. And so being able to use them in my paper and having to try to explain what it meant was challenging. So from that point, I knew that it was important to begin to learn my language more in depth, to continue to use my language every day, to continue to listen and hear what speakers are sharing and saying. And the next part to that is understanding. So I enjoy listening and I enjoy hearing the language. And now my next journey is to understand the language and to begin speaking myself. My niece is 7 and we started speaking the language to her when she was born. We never corrected her when we went to restaurants and she would ask for biche. We never told them that it was water. We never asked her to translate that for them. We would tell them what it was. And that was to instill in her who she is. And so when she introduces herself, her full name is Manado Benassis, but she just goes by Benassis. And she would say it until you could understand her. She never let you shorten her name. And so when we're starting at a young age with our children to understand who they are, that's their identity. That is who you are. Your language is who you are. It is a part of who you are. Your name is a part of who you are. Your clan and where you're from, those are all who you are as a person. Those are all your center. That's your foundation, especially the language. Like Medwayashi was sharing, I really am so taken back when I hear small children from another country speaking their language so fluently. And one day will be that that culture who speaks fluently again, right from our children. Miigwech.
Hey everyone, most of you know me. I'm Corey Snake in English. My spirit's known as Gnu, name given to me by Badonquid here in Rama, also known as Mark Douglas. Some of you I taught in school that are here, which is awesome, and it's great to see so many young people. And as you can see, that's the focus of what everyone's saying and encouraging is for you to continue on to learn our language. I was fortunate in my language journey that I had a lot of speakers when I was young, so I was around language a lot. Almost all my grandparents spoke except for my Scottish grandfather on my mom's side, and a lot of my older cousins, so from Curve Lake and from Rama. So I was very fortunate to be around the language a lot till I was like probably 8 years old. I was always over at my grandparents' place, and they basically spoke nothing but Anishinaabemowin. And because of that, to this day, I can really get a okay grasp of what people are saying, and I converse a bit. But I tried a lot of the years to. It's constantly in the back of your mind about our language and how important it is and to learn it. And even throughout high school, I would think about it all the time, how I wanted to keep it going, relearn it. And one big thing that challenged me was I was watching him a fastball down at the men play down at the ball field. And my grandfather came and sat with me and we're chatting. And he said, and I was getting ready to go away to school. And he challenged me. He said, "So you're going away to school, eh?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "So you know a lot about the white man's world. What do you know about being Anishinaabe?" And I'd never really thought about it as being so separate. He goes, "You know what? You can achieve and you can succeed in this world. That's not an issue anymore. We all can, because it's everywhere. But what do you know about being Anishinaabe?" And I really thought about that, and I really took it home. And I said, "Well, you know, you taught me how to spearfish, you taught me how to set net, you taught me how to track and hunt." And he goes, "Yeah, but the language is the key." And he really drove that home. He goes, "Any one of us can succeed in this world because it's everywhere. But all of our young people aren't growing up in our world. And that's the problem. So if we don't keep our own identity separate, we'll be the same as everybody else, and it'll be empty." And I constantly think about that, so I challenge you all to think about that. And there's 4 things that I really recommend to do for language is use it wherever you can. With my daughter, I take books when I go grocery shopping. I'll take a book with me and I'll have it open just as a reference, and I'll say like, "I'm buying this, I'm picking up that," and I say that in the language while I'm grocery shopping. Try to use it every opportunity you can, like simple things like that. Incorporate it into things you like to do for fun. I'll try to use it a lot when I play cards. And the last thing is anybody who criticizes you in a bad way, pick and choose who you go around. That's a big thing. I was really discouraged a lot growing up for language, especially typically by older speakers when I'd make a mistake. And they're really heavy critical. They'll be like, they're just short. Like, don't say it. They're blunt. Don't say it like that. You're saying it wrong. That's not right. But they won't give a solution. Surround yourself with people that encourage you, and pick and choose who you go around. And there are ones that will encourage you, but always give the benefit of the doubt to say, "Well, can you teach me how to say it properly, or to say it right, or how am I saying it wrong?" Give that benefit. So really find your supports. And there's always people that are around you that will give you that support. They are out there. You know, I always say our language tribe is small, but it's growing. And it is constantly. And there's a lot of opportunity with language too. You know, if you go to school to learn it, I'd recommend going to the States to learn it, to like Minnesota. I'd really encourage that. And, you know, 2 years of your life in the grand scheme of things is nothing to learn your language. It's literally, if you go to post-secondary education, it's like realistically 12 months. It's like a year. So that's not a lot to sacrifice. So something that'll change your whole world if you can do it. And if you're worried about money and jobs, literally heaps and heaps and heaps of posting for language teachers. So don't worry about that. But pursue it. I encourage it. Changes your whole life. Really does. Every little bit you learn. So, migoyo. That's it. Sorry.
Bonjour. Ninsa. Kevin in Arctic Indigenous. A dick a nin and do them. Ojibway Anishinaabemowin and me Minjikaning Shkunagan Gainin Wenjabayan. Gay get to go Gainin the Miss Wendan. We Nata Anishinaabemowin. Bungie it to go Nongom and good to Bajim. Meoja and Donogi Dapanan Gudin away winning on. Gawin Dash way Wayne and Gi Nisido Tazin Anishinaabemowin Beanish not Queshquog all Quay Imanabid Migunabi Quay. Gay get to go and gi Wido Cog Jinata Anishinaabemowin. Kinagego ga Kidod Debwemagad ga Kidod Migunabi Quay. Midwayash Gavin Gidebwe Nin Namaji Nata Anishinaabem Onzam Nawidabemog Ngiu Cheag Ngiu Epitzajik Miwenji Nata Anishinaabemowin. Miwenji Maji Nata Anishinaabemowin. Gain Mishe and get Kendenzine why get Kendama. Gaish Nimigwach Wenama Gapache and you Ashke ya Ansak with the Get to go Miwenji Dapinaman or Anishinaabemowin. Jimina Gwa Ingu Oshke ya Ansak Ingoding. Musikina.
Anin kinawaya bidab no Indigenous cause. Chimney singing Jacognigo, Ma Rama Mimano and Dian, Mima Nijan Sakyawat. Unishinyo much kam gakyosa Anishinaabemowin, Unishin. Batin Mokomagin in with extra aujik and Vendana Agogain Majavido Kaswat. Abdixkonagan Bachawa. Kenin Gego Davin Bachim. Paneko Genin Nishquandem the Jiaxem got Kagnapchikon week at sea, Ashkonau Quem got Gitchenendam Wabmagwago Eshkinijik, the Wen Moati Jinin Gachtoatio Anishinaabem Wat. Being night Kawakadian. Gitchenendam go Chimnision in Makibin Batchiging. Nadwen Daganakego Awak. My maiden name really is Sylvester. That's my maiden name. I'm the pussycat. Kashgis Dow. Miigwech.
Bakadana?
I've asked Speak for the food?
Chimigwech for everyone that was here, especially to our facilitators for all of the great work that they do and being so passionate and engaging with all of us participants. And I'm especially grateful as, I'm from Wiki, so I'm far from home and I've grown up around here for a really long time. So I'm always really, really grateful to the people of Rama for all of their kindness and just always being such kind hosts, like just welcoming and I always have an invite. So thank you so much to everyone. Chimigwech.
So I learned more today. I know the vowel thingies, so quality. And I'm really grateful for the experience. And I agree that it needs to happen more often because I got to meet a lot of people. I got to meet some of the elders in the community, and I never really would have considered going to see the elders and stuff, but I feel like it's a good idea because it takes the burden of sharing their knowledge off their shoulders, and I don't know, gives them an easier time, and they probably like having people come see them. I imagine it's pretty boring there. And I don't know, I want things like this to happen more often because I liked it a lot. Miigwech.
Oh, Miigwech. Why did I start out with Miigwech? I don't know. I think this is really cool, and I like doing stuff like this a lot. I like seeing fellow youth. There wasn't as much people as many people there were today than there was through the week. But just these people here, I feel like we made a lot of progress, and I don't know. That's pretty cool. Miigwech.
You can take it.
Well, I got to learn more about the pronunciation of my words. Or I wasn't pronouncing a lot right. And I like doing things like this, like Jules said, and a lot more people said that we need to do more of these. Miigwech.
I haven't had language classes since grade 8, so it was really good to get back into it and be able to talk to people in the language and not just, talk in English. So, yeah, Miigwech.
My experience with the kids today was awesome because even with their vocabulary, and it was just dead on. I helped them a little bit with their vowels, sentences, and that, and it just came back to them so easily. So Rama's done quite a bit already with the kids in their language. So just keep up the good work and continue having more of these language camps because it's detrimental for our language to continue. Miigwech.
I'm Robert. I just got here. I've only been here 10 minutes. No, but okay, my exposure to the language was growing up and listening to my auntie and my uncles and my grandfather. My dad taught the language. My dad's 78 years old, and we're going to lose him soon. He hasn't got many years left. But the language, that was my exposure to the language. 27 years ago, I took a first-year university course in Ojibway language, and that I don't remember much of what was retained in that. So this is important that the language does come back, and I'm glad the school for my kids, my 2 kids, to have taken it for 9 years, including, did they take it in kindergarten? I don't know. So 10 years altogether. And I'm hopeful that they bring more speaking in the community for it. I'm very hopeful for that. And hopefully they can hear, my grandkids will be able to hear that spoken from them. So that's my hope. Miigwech.
I'm just kind of at a loss for words right now. But I'm really happy and proud of today and the whole week and the commitment that I've seen. And I think today was a beautiful day. and everything works out the way it's supposed to, I think. And I want to thank everybody for being here, and especially the instructors. Not especially, like every one of you, but the instructors for all of the things that you were sharing with these young ones. And I thought it was so nice how each one of you gave something different and in a different way. And just you're filling up those bundles, right, for those kids, and helping them to look at it and build the confidence to keep going. I'm really thankful that this can happen, and I hope that we continue to do more, and that this is just the beginning of something. And yeah, it just all around I feel good about it. So I want to thank you all for coming, and we do have a giveaway here. Stephanie McGinnis came by and brought some things for all of us to take with us, just as a way of thanking you. And it's not just for the instructors. I want to thank all of you, like, who made the time to come out of your lives to come here. It's very meaningful to me to see so many youth here, and that you've made that commitment. So feel free to just go and grab whatever you like. There's a lot of kids' toys up there.
They're not in the dollar store, right? No.
I can't tell you that. No.
They've been recalled, that's why.
They got lead in them. And then there's some muffins as well. Before you leave, I wanted to ask if maybe Glenda could close us out with a prayer.
Annie, quick.
Why are we all nicer than like everyone else? Like, I don't understand.
Angie, like.
Oh, sorry.